my channel. This is a brand new channel I'm doing, and it's mainly just gonna be focused on books, cause like I really love reading books, and it's one of my favorite hobbies and stuff. So I just decided I've been wanting to do this for a while. I just haven't really gotten the motivation to do it, I guess. But I'm gonna try it, and this is just gonna be mainly me doing like this is gonna be a bit of like an intro video plus like so that's gonna be the first part of this video, and I just it's just gonna be I'm gonna be like doing like book reviews, maybe book tags, not tags, sorry, not tags. I'm like book challenges and like book tags, yes, and just some other fun book stuff. I made doing book recommendations. I can't remember if I said that. Sorry. So I'm just gonna do like I get like just a little bit about me. My name's Noah. I'm 17 years old. I'm a senior in high school who just happens to love reading, and like I talk about books a lot, and like all my friends love reading, well except one. But like so it's not like I'm doing this because like no one I know reads, but like I just thought it'd be a fun thing to do. So I'm just gonna do the thing called the Booktube Newbie Tag. It's just like some questions I asked, like I'm gonna answer about like my new like not I'm not sure if I'm gonna call this a booktube, but like some book channel. So I just thought I'd use this because like why not? So the first question is, why did you start this channel? I think I already answered that because I just love reading. I wanted to help people, teens, I guess, find books they like. I kind of just love. I don't really think kind of book, but I don't read like any nonfiction usually or stuff like that. So if you look for nonfiction stuff, you probably won't find that on this channel unless my brother might make an appearance. Who knows? He might want me to recommend books to you, so that might happen. I don't know. And I just thought it'd be a very fun thing to do, and like I can try and post probably like not consistently, but like on a schedule, maybe like 2 or 3 times a week, maybe, because I'm still in high school, so that might get kind of hectic, I guess, but I'll try my best. The second question is, what are some funny, unique things you can bring into BookTube? I probably won't have any like creative stuff that I can think of, but like I'm probably gonna hope to like maybe get some, because I feel like I like books that aren't very popular. I guess like obviously I like books that are popular, but some book series I have that I like, not many people have really heard of. Like I've asked my friends, English teachers, librarians, and they were like had never really heard of it, and I had to like suggest some books for them. So I think maybe I could like do that. The third question is, what are you most excited for about this new channel? I'm just excited to be talking about books and have somewhere to like be able to talk about like something I'm interested in, because like sure I can talk to my friends about it, but like usually we're never like reading the same book, and they're much faster readers than I am. So if we decide to read a book together, like I'm usually the very last one, because currently I don't have one with me. Hang on. So sorry, I'm looking at the question on my computer. I'm currently reading the Throne of Glass series with this is the fourth one. It's my favorite one so far with my friends. But I started this back in March. We started together in March, and pretty much out of the four people counted me who read this, the three of them finished it within a month. I'm still reading it, and I'm on the 6th book, so I'm a pretty slow reader because like I love fantasy, but like I read fantasy quite slowly. But like it's still I love fantasy. This is one of my favorite series. So I'm just I guess I'm excited to like also get new book recommendations, and just I'm sorry, like it's just you should probably know this before I do all this, but like I have an apraxia of speech. So it's that what they call it. So usually you might not be I could stutter a lot. I could say the word like a lot. I probably have done it already in this video, or like I said there. Or I just have a hard time saying stuff that's in my brain, like in my head. I know what to say, but I can't get it out properly. So if I keep repeating something, or I apologize for that. I'll do my best. I was hoping to also like it might help me with speech almost, but like I did speech as a kid. I don't really do speech anymore because my speech is fine. it just like it's all in there, but I just can't get it out. So hopefully this isn't gonna be a problem in this channel, because I usually would, not that this video isn't, but I'm hopefully have scripted videos to do for these books. So yes, the fourth question is, why do you love reading? I love reading. It just like, sorry, my phone's about to die. I'm just gonna, well, my camera's about to die, so I'm just gonna plug this in real fast, and then I can keep going. Okay, cool. So why do you love reading? I just love reading because I always have, like, well, not always have, but I found my love for reading in elementary school, and it's like a way to like, cause like usually is like, I don't want to say there's everything in the world is terrible, because sure there's great things in the world, but there's, to me, when I read the news every once in a while, I always only ever see bad stories that makes me not want to read the news, I guess. So it's like almost a way to like escape into a different world, and I kind of forget about the real world, because sometimes if I read into a book and I read for maybe 30 minutes or 45 minutes or somewhere around there, I could stop reading, and I'd be like literally just be in my room, and I could be like, wait, where am I again? And then I'm like, oh wait, I'm in my room. So there's that, and it's a really fun feeling, I guess. So yeah. But the question 5 is, what book or series got you into reading? I have 2 that I can think of that really got me into reading. The first one is the Heroes of Olympus series by Rick Riordan. I can get it. I got these in 4th grade. Like, I read it way before 4th grade, but what really got me loving reading a lot were the Heroes of Olympus series. These are the first 2, and as you can see, I'm not sure you can see, but like, it's been very loved and read many times, because like the spine is cracking. I had to tape it in the middle when I was younger, and this one literally, like, the cover is like about to, like, it's like bent and all that. So this is what really got me into like loving it. And Jason Grace from this series was one of my first like favorite book characters, and I just really, because I read this I started reading them in 4th grade, and the whole series wasn't even out. I think there's like only like 3 books, and I remember my best friend at the time, she still is one of my best friends, but she came in with The House of Hades, which was the 4th one, and I say like, wait, I've never seen that one before. And she's like, oh yeah, it's brand new, it just came out like yesterday. So I'm like, really? Because like I was on the second one at the time, so I'm like, I just glad I didn't have to wait. But then, because you know how like the third, if you read the series, you know how the 3rd book ended in a terrible cliffhanger. And I was just glad I didn't have to wait a whole another year. I think it was the end of the 3rd one, I'm pretty sure it was. And then I had to wait for Blood of Olympus, which was the last one to come out, but it was still a very good series. I haven't read it for a couple years, because I've just been reading other things, but this is definitely one of the first thing that comes to mind for it. And there's another series I can think of, and it's the Michael Vey series. It's a book of 7 books. I didn't read this until 7th grade, so I guess it didn't count my love for reading, but this has definitely changed my life, this series, because I have Tourette syndrome, and I'm assuming you know what it is, but it's just a brief breakup. It's like, it's a disorder people have. Well, not people, but like, yeah, people have it, but like, you get diagnosed with that, and it has you do these tics that you can't control. It could be anything. Like, I snort, I blink my eyes, I do other stuff that might be weird, and I had no idea I had this, because I have a snorting tic, and that's the very first thing I had, and my parents just thought, like, hey, there's allergies, let's just have them get allergy shots. So I'm like, okay, fine, because like just got snorted, and I didn't know why. And talking about it triggers it too. But like, and then I read this series, and at the time there's only 5 books out, I think, out of the 7, and the main character Michael has Tourette's also, and he's 14 years old. Yeah, he's 14 at the start of this book, then he's just 15, I think, in this book also. And he has Tourette syndrome, and it made me realize, like, my parents were like, wait, what if you have Tourette syndrome? So I got diagnosed with it, and it made me love the series even more. And the brief synopsis about it is that Michael, the main character who has Tourette's, has a secret, and he's electric, which means like he can shoot like lightning out of his fingers, and like he can shock people, and but he's had to hide it his whole life, and then he uses it to scare off some bullies, but one of the the hottest girl at his school sees it, and it turns out like she also has some kind of electric powers. So probably should have put a spoiler there, but I probably will before this. But and then they find out there's like a whole group of people who have these same powers, and he has to like, and when he finds this out, it gets kind of not scary, but it gets almost like very actiony, because like he pretty much like Michael gets a scholarship for this prestigious, I can never say that word, but this really great high school, because he's only 15. He just turned 15, and he's like, he never did well in school. He got bullied. He got shoved into lockers and all that. So he's like, why did he get this? And but then the girl also got it, and he's like, wait, this is kind of weird. So they did a whole bunch of research and told Michael, showed her his mom, and the mom was like, okay, we need to go right now. But then the mom gets kidnapped one night, the night of his birthday, I'm pretty sure, and if I remember right, and then they go on this rescue, and so Michael, the girl Taylor, his best friend Austin, and the bully Jack and Wade, who are the bullies who picked on Michael, all have to drive to, I think it's Pasadena. They live in Idaho, and I think they had to drive to Pasadena or someplace not Colorado. What am I doing? California, and I think they had to rescue it, and they find out there's a whole bunch of other people with electrical powers that they're not just, they can't just like shoot electrics. Only 2 people can do that. Of the group, they also have like they can reboot minds. One person can, the other person can like it's like a human flash drive and can store computer stuff. And there's like 18. I can't remember how many. I think there's 18 or around there. And they call themselves the Electro Clan, and it's 7-book series. So it follows their adventures through 7 books. It's an amazing series. I highly recommend it. That's a big thing. It was a big it's a very big like synopsis. I'm sorry, I got excited because definitely this series has definitely changed my life in a great way. And also the Heroes of Olympus series was also the very first one that really got me into reading. Because call me crazy, but I never really was a fan of, like, I love Percy Jackson, but like I never got into the books that much. Because I stopped kind of halfway through the 3rd book, because it was just not my type of book, I guess. And then I got into this book, loved it. And I also love I've read half Magnus Chase books. I just stopped because it got way too busy, and then I just haven't got back to it, so I definitely should do that. But like, the Heroes of Olympus is definitely the highlight of Rick Riordan for me. It's probably an unpopular opinion, I don't know. Let me know if you like this, but yeah, so on to the next question. So, question 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? My favorite booktubers, I should just say this. The first booktuber I ever watched were A Bookutopia, Sasha from A Bookutopia, and Tiernan from the Booktuber. I saw a whole bunch of their collaboration videos. It was like so hilarious. I have an anxiety disorder also, and books is a way to make me calm down, and it's kind of hard for me to find happiness, I guess. Like I find myself a happy person, but whenever I'm like in the anxiety or like sadness, kind of mild depression kind of thing, it can get hard to find, so to cheer me up. And then I found Sasha's and Tiernan's booktube channels with collaborations, and I first saw them like 2 years ago, but they were the videos from like 2014, 2015 that I was loving so much. And then I ended up watching Jesse the Reader. He's hilarious. I love him too, and those are probably my top 3 booktubers. I also see like Perry's Project. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. I also really liked Poland Bananas books, and I recently started watching Troy Reads. He's brand new, and I thought that was really cool. So also maybe he's also like, hey, I should try this also, because I've always wanted to do it, and I just never got the courage to do it, and now I'm hoping I'm able to do it now. So those are some of my favorite booktubers, and I would just ask them, like, I honestly wouldn't know what I would ask them, because I'll probably just, like, be kind of, like, you know how like sometimes like people who like see the favorite celebrity or celebrity crush and they just don't say anything and they're just in shock. I might do that. It's like with authors and stuff. And if I do get the courage to speak, I'll probably say like I'll probably just ask them saying like what's their favorite part about booktube or like how like that how to start it maybe what got them into reading and all that kind of stuff. So just like to get to know you kind of questions, I guess, because like that'd be just really cool to meet them and stuff. So yes. Number 7. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I kind of touched base on this earlier, but the praxia speech, because sometimes I don't really like how I sound through recordings, because I find myself kind of hard to hear sometimes, and I apologize if it's like that, and I tend to talk really fast, so I hope I haven't been doing that this video, so that might be kind of a hard thing to overcome, and there's on my treads, I probably won't get in the way because usually when I have my mind off it, it doesn't really happen much. But like I can never completely make it go away unless I'm actually really doing something that's taking my mind off it. So I'm not gonna like tick like mad. So that might be I was tick maybe a normal amount, and that might be kind of hard to overcome. And like maybe getting like start out with subscribers. Like sure I'm not expecting to go like 10,000 or something like or 10K subscribers obviously, but like to start it might be kind of hard to like get subscribers on this channel because like to start YouTube channels most people wouldn't know, I guess, and you might have shared with people and like to talk about, so that might be kind of hard, I guess, and like might be not overwhelming, but like when it's like a week or two passes and you see like there's like only like 5 views or something, and then like it might be kind of like deflated kind of, but like I'm probably not gonna feel that way, but it just helped me a lot, and it might be kind of like a challenge, I guess, to really have people come in, I guess. So I don't know. Number 8. When did you start reading? Um, my parents read to me like when I was kids, obviously, like most parents, and then I started reading like Harry Potter and stuff like that. Like Harry Potter was great. I just was never as like okay. I take that back. I loved Harry Potter when I was a kid. Like, when I was about 9 or 10 years old, I read Harry Potter for the first time. I loved it. Like, it was a great story and stuff. But it wasn't it wasn't like as good as you. Please don't hate on me on this, because like, well, I don't care if you hate on this, but like, it just wasn't like the series that really got me into reading. Like, I said, the Heroes of Olympus series got me into it. But like I found myself like enjoying reading, so I'm like I'm gonna read some other books that a 4th and 5th grade person can read. So I read the Rick Riordan books that really got me into reading. So I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna start reading like this. And like my elementary school had 2 book fairs a year, so I usually like to get a book, at least one book from the book fair each semester. And I remember getting some like I'm not sure if I have like I did it by they also had like online catalogs too. So more like 4, I guess, a year. That's 5, 4 a year. But I don't know. So like, I remember getting this from online catalog at my elementary school. I got the first 2 books actually from this. So I'm like, okay, I really love this. So I decided to read Percy Jackson. I'm like, it was like just mad to me. So like, I can't remember the exact moment when I started loving reading. I just know I've always loved reading. And like, it almost seems like the like younger like elementary middle school it's kind of normal to see people read, but when you hit high school, like everyone's on their phone, they're doing Instagram, they're like doing like all sorts of social media, they never get off their phones, like during class they're still on their phones. And in high school it's just like it's almost like reading's died down a bit, because like I sound for like my ever since start high school I've always gotten stares, like not weird stares like what's he doing kind of thing, but like I've gotten stares at me saying like they're like it's just like they act like it's the weirdest thing ever. I just kind of ignore what I just said, but like they look at me like this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. But it's like it's kind of to me it's kind of, I don't really get offended by it, because like I have people saying like how can you read a book that long, or like shouldn't you be playing sports and not reading? And like I'm very unathletic. So yeah, And like it never really bothered me because I'm just like I don't care, like this is something I really love. Like sure, like I won't go to you and say like just poop on your like favorite like what you like to do. So I just kind of brush it off kind of. And like I'm just like I don't care, I just love doing this. And like I kind of have a book everywhere I go at school. Like I don't read during class because like I enjoy school, but like when I have free time, when passing time, or when I have work time and I finish early, or on my lunch period, or before and after school, I read. I usually have a book on my desk all at all times. So yeah, I'm just the love of reading has kept on me. Like I've been in a few reading slumps, I guess, that remember me for like a few days maybe, because I remember like even in like the last year of this one, this is my favorite book of the series even. And I remember I got in book slump in the middle of this book because I'm like it was like very because like at the time I would love action stuff, but like I would always skip over the boring parts, like in James Bond movies or like Hunger Games, because like also, like, if you know, see my posters, but like Hunger Games and Divergent were my life in middle school. They were like really like they didn't get me to reading, but like they were literally like my life. And those are like probably my first two posters I've had in my room. I also have a Darkest Minds poster here over there. Like the kind of lighter one I got from my best friend who worked at a movie theater. Well, not my best friend, but a friend who worked at a movie theater. So Divergent and Hunger Games I also really loved, but whenever I got to the boring part, I would like almost I would like I don't usually do this anymore, but I used to like skip over the chapters maybe. I just want to get the action part. But when I hit this, there's like kind of got slow towards some place in the middle, and I put it down for like maybe a week, and then remember I was going up to my room and I see it on the stairs. I'm like, maybe I should keep reading this, and it was like the best decision I've made at that point in my life. Because like if it wasn't for this book, I probably wouldn't be reading as much as I have been. Like I probably would still read, but not as much as I do. So there are times I just like I'm like I hope that doesn't happen, but other than that, I've kept my read and steady. Because like I guess I'm a fast reader compared to people who don't read, but people who my friends who are book nerds really really I read quite slowly and like I don't care because my dad's like, hey, that's good. You're soaking in all the details and stuff. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So, yeah, there's that. Question 9. Where do you read? Um, I'm kind of weird because, like, I don't usually like reading in bed, like, kind of when I'm laying down or something. But, like, I usually love reading on the couch. And in my parents' room, they have, like, two windows and then, like, a little, nook almost. It's like two dressers here, and then kind of a lower part to open stuff. And my parents have this weird, like, not bed, but it's kind of a pillow bed thing that's on there, and I like to read on there in my parents' room before they go to bed and stuff. So I don't really like reading in bed, which is kind of strange, I feel like, because a lot of people probably like reading in bed or, like, under the covers late at night, but I've never, like, I'm definitely not a night person. I think that's what you call it. But, like, I'm definitely not a person who stays up late at night, even if I, like, read my book and then I get to a good part and then a chapter. Because I remember in the Throne of Glass series, there's a scene when an arrow went straight through someone's shoulder and then the chapter ended. And I was way too tired, so I literally just went to bed because it was getting late. Because I get panic attacks when I stay up too late. So I've never been one of those people who not sleep in bed, read in bed, I guess. So that might be why I don't enjoy it that much. So I just, like my friend, like Lori sometimes uses the camera when she can't find light. So I usually just like reading, like on the couch mostly is where I usually read, and like because my couch is kind of like an L shape, so I like to read just like in the corner of the couch. So and I love reading on road trips because I like never get car sick, and I'm very glad about that. I only got car sick once in my life, and that was because like I was ready, like I just wasn't really feeling that well, and I should not have read. But most times, I can actually read in the car and be perfectly fine. So I love about that. So I practically can read anywhere, but my bed I find it hard to read for some strange reason, because like I don't know. So yeah, that's where I like to read. Number 10. What kind of books do you like to read? My favorites are fantasy and contemporary fiction. So like almost like rom-com or romance. And you'd probably be like, what? But like I actually enjoy it because like, wait, where did I put that book? Yeah, because like probably some of my favorite contemporary books are Simon vs. Homo Sapiens Agenda. Simon vs. Homo Sapiens Agenda, sorry, I probably said this super fast, by Becky Albertalli. And I remember I I my friend and I were going to I live in Nebraska, so there's not much stuff to see, so I kind of just read a lot. And my best friend and I, there was like in Kansas City, um, for a weekend we rode down to Kansas City because there was a orchestra concert, and there's like so pretty much it's like a concert pretty much, and it had a big screen and it was like playing the Cherry Pie and the Chamber of Secrets, and there's an orchestra playing the soundtrack, and it was really cool. And like since I live in Nebraska, not much stuff happens around Nebraska. Nothing really that cool, I guess. So it was pretty cool. So got tickets. I went with my best friend. Um, he and I went with our families. I have a brother, so he went with us too. And I remember I was looking for a book to read, and I saw a trailer for this movie before I read this book, and like this looks really good. It looks very relatable, and like I love these kind of books. So I ordered this book the week I went, and I kind of read it kind of slowly just to savor it because I wanted to read on the ride there and back. And I remember I was about like a fourth of the way through maybe, and I finished the entire book on on the way back, I think, or the way there, but like just not what there back, just one way. I finished the entire book and loved it. So yes, that's like one only times I read really fast because like I tend to read contemporary books like this much faster than I do fantasy because fantasy does so much more to to relish, I guess, like to take in, I guess, and the names are like they just sound like gibberish in your head, like not every character's fantasy character name, but like most fantasy names you just sound like gibberish in your head, so you're just like. And you have to think of like, wait, where's this place again? So you look back at the map. At least I do that. So, and I also love the Becky Albertalli books because I have like, Anna Severo. I have What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Anna Severo. I have the Yes, No, Maybe So that she collaborated also. I have Love Creekwood. I have Leon on the Offbeat and The Upside of Unrequited. I think I said that right. All that Becky Albertalli. So she's probably one of my favorite contemporary authors I've read. And also like one of my favorite fantasy series is the Challenger Chronicles. Like I love the Mortal Instruments. Those are just amazing. Hence the giant Alec Ledgwood poster behind me. I tried reading the Inferno Devices series like not many times, but 2 or 3 times. I never really got into it. And I have so many people have said it's so much better than the Mortal Instruments. You need to give it a shot. So I probably will, because I read them like I tried 3 times, 8th and 9th grade, but like maybe I should read it again. Maybe appreciate it more. I've also owned my whole shelf down here. I'm not sure if you can see this, but I have like a whole like Challenger shelf, and I'm not sure why you can see that, but I'll show you this. Okay, and the whole shelf is dedicated, and I have practically every single Challenger book except the last 2 Inferno Devices. So I have Clockwork Angel. I just don't have Clockwork Prince or Clockwork Princess. So maybe once I get into, I also don't have the new Eldest Curses book called The Lost Book of the White. I think it was called. I have a library book here. Yeah, The Lost Book of the White. I'm pretty sure, because like it just came out, and I kind of blow through my money with a lot of books, so I didn't have enough money at the time. So, and I also I'm halfway through the Dark Artifices series, and that's great. I love that series also. Julian is hilarious. He's probably my favorite character maybe Mark is too, but like in that series. I have Chain of Gold. I just haven't read it yet because it's a sequel to The Inferno Devices. So, yeah, and my best friend, who also likes Shadowhunters, but not as much as I did, gave me this little book for my birthday one year, and it's like a whole bunch of, it's from the movie, and it's quotes in it, and and it has like stuff, and like it's kind of cool little book. I actually spilled water in it a few months ago, so that made me really sad, but it's pretty intact, I think. So I have that, and like I love Alec Ledgwood. He's like probably one of my favorite book characters of all time. And if you haven't noticed, my profile picture on this new YouTube channel is pretty much like a whole bunch of Shadow characters. So that's probably my favorite fantasy series of all time. I I also love Throne of Glass. I'm currently my first time reading it, but I love it so much. This is probably my favorite one of the series so much. I still have 2 more books left of the series I have to read, plus the prequel. But I'm not sure if any can top this one, but I'm waiting till I read the last book, because my best friend read it literally in 72 hours somehow, and it's 980 pages. Excuse me. So, 980 pages, and she read it in 72 hours. We're in quarantine, so it made sense, I guess, but I could never read it that fast, even in quarantine. So, and are there any other fantasy books I like? I like Hunger Games and Divergent are more dystopian, I think, because like my middle school self, my favorites, like all I loved, like the only thing I would ever talk about and was my life was Hunger Games, Divergent, and Maze Runner. And Maze Runner is only one of the 3 that I don't have a poster of, but those 3 were like my favorite things ever in middle school. Like Peter Millark was like my favorite character ever. And like Josh Hutcherson's like my favorite actor of all time, so that made it even better. And Divergent, it was so good. Like, it's probably one of my favorite movie soundtracks. For the first one, the Divergent movie is probably one of my favorite movie soundtracks of all time. Like, my favorite movie soundtrack, and it's just incredible. And very unpopular opinion, but Allegiant was actually my favorite movie of the series. I know what you're gonna say, but like minus the part when one of the characters, like, how do I say this without spoiling it? Like, I just like the part when they run up there, and then it ended when, like, Four and Triss run back up the wall after, like, exploding a thing on the bottom, but I just love that scene so much. And Caleb in the scene is so relatable, because I'm very clumsy. I trip on my feet a lot, I tumble, I, like, smack into things, and, like, when Caleb was trying to run up this wall, he, like, literally just face plants, and it's, like, the most funny thing ever. And that was just, like, I love that. This was mainly 7th grade. The 3 series, the Maze Runner, Divergent, Hunger Games, were all my 7th grade year. And then 8th grade year is when the Challengers came. And I was so excited because, like, I heard the show came out. I heard the Netflix original, but I kept looking on Netflix every day saying, like, why isn't it on Netflix? Why isn't it on Netflix? And then it was, like, the best thing ever because, like, literally on a Friday after school I watched home, just happened to look on Hulu. It's just a US thing, and it's only on Hulu in the US, apparently. And I was so excited. I'm literally like, see you on Monday, Dad. I'm gonna binge watch this. And it was so good. Like, the first season's probably the worst of the 3 seasons that aired, because it got canceled after 3 seasons. I was so sad, but it was such a great show. I highly recommend it. Well, read the books first and then watch it. And there's that. So, and that's like the last question. Like, I really get into this kind of stuff when I talk about books I like. So this is also why I made the channel. And I know it's a very long video. I wasn't planning on making it this long. I'm so sorry. And thank you if you made all the way through this video. So, also, I have a second. Well, this is my second channel. I have a first channel that I made back in middle school, like 8th grade, I think. I called Hercman G. It's HERC man and then G space G. And I pretty much it's like no original content, not really. It's mostly just like rankings of movies, ranking of songs, character theme song videos, and stuff like from movies and TV shows I like. So you can check that out if you want. And this one, if you're wondering how I came up with this name, actually my best friend suggested this channel name, so shout out to him. And it was just hilarious. It was like it just made me laugh because my last name is Goldberg, and I went with Gold Nerd because like it's kind of a thing of the Goldberg's show is a bit, and also like I get called a book nerd a lot, mainly from my brother who just teasing me and my friends. So I thought that was kind of funny, and then the books just shows it has 4 books, and that's kind of the topic. So thank you, Alex, for suggesting that name. It's a great name. So I guess that's all for this video. I'll probably come up with a schedule sometime very soon, and I can put it on the channel. But other than that, thanks for watching. please subscribe. It would help me a lot. You can comment down below what other videos you want to see. I have a few videos planned for the next couple weeks. And just share with your friends. It would really help me a lot, so thank you. So I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.